Florida. You're in the Wilkow majority.
Hey, Andrew. In terms of Obama being the redistributionist in chief, you know, it's hard for me to defend Obama on certain things because he has spent quite a bit of money. We've doubled the debt that Bush left us, and I fully appreciate that. But I wanted to hear what your thoughts would be on Obama if this debt commission fails to come to an agreement, and Obama pushes a 3 or 4 to 1 plan, which he does not have to do. You and I both know that we could slide through 2012 and not do anything.
Here's the thing. You know, this looking to the president to drive the agenda with his ideas. I just want to know where in Article 2 he would get the power to have his ideas become law.
I think that he's just presenting a proposition to the debt commission, and it's up to the debt commission formed by Congress to write the law. But my point to you is this. We know all of the Republicans stood up and refused the 10 to 1, which in my mind's eye solved the debt commission issue. We know who was responsible for that. The debt ceiling. And I think it puts you in a really tough box because I expect Obama to come out with the same plan he offered Boehner. And if they have a
Boehner, can you just say Boehner?
I apologize. That's slipped out. John Boehner, I actually have a lot of respect for recently. I thought he handled the debt crisis very well. The debt ceiling,
because he did what Democrats love Republicans who negotiate. When Democrats, when it comes down to gun control or abortion or amnesty or whatever a progressive Democrat would take a hardline stance on that's not negotiable, it's funny how the very same characteristics in a Ted Kennedy are derided in a Jim DeMint.
No, I don't want to get Jim DeMint into the issue, and I don't want to defend Obama on gun rights because I don't think there's a defense needed. I'm a hunter. I've hunted my entire life. He's done nothing but help gun rights. But all I want to hear...
I want to get that one on tape. Obama's helped gun rights?
Yeah, absolutely. As a duck hunter, I wasn't allowed to take a gun on state parks. I am now, thanks to Obama. You weren't allowed to take guns on Amtrak. You are now, thanks to Obama. You can't show me a single thing he's done in terms of gun law that's negative. But I'm getting sidetracked. I just want one point to be made. If he does offer the 4 to 1, and that is on the table, how can you call him a redistributionist? He hasn't raised taxes on a single American, and he's looking to really beat back the debt.
Okay, you're kidding yourself if you're actually going to sit there and say that he's trying to beat back the debt. What did we call that stimulus package? What are we calling the front loading of taxation on Obamacare? All of these programs that he is proposing or supporting or saying cannot be cut are the programs that redistribute wealth.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So you're saying that the only reason you call him a redistributionist was saving us from the recession and instituting 30-year...
No, you have to understand, when you have top-down command and control, central planning, which we have, you have wealth redistribution, you have bubbles that are artificially created and then artificially bursted by the central planners. When you have an economist like Christina Romer, and I use that term loosely, who claims that if we spend $862 billion, unemployment won't go above 8%, and then when it rises to 9.8, she takes off for Berkeley. What do you call that?
I will tell you. I will address that, Andrew. You and I both know, and I would hope.
And if you don't think he believes in wealth redistribution, did you hear that clip of audio I just played? Did you miss that?
I know I did, but let's.
Did you miss what he said to Joe the plumber when he said it's better for everyone when we redistribute the wealth?
If you want to talk about redistribution...
No, Scott, I'm going to stop you right here because this is a problem that you're failing to see. There's two ways to view what wealth is. When you view wealth as a national product that is in some way proxy property of all who reside within the nation, you are in fact a Marxist. Or you can look at wealth as a product of somebody's labor, which makes it their private property, and only part of it is given to government for the limited basic functions of a government. He does, in fact, as does Robert Reich and many progressive Democrats, including, we were just talking about Richard Trumka. Most of these people view wealth as common property. It is not common property. It is held by those who earned it. If Lady Gaga can convince enough music fans to provide her with $100 million, that is not a national product. That's her money.
I agree with that. The point that I try to make to that is that if you're framing redistribution of wealth in the terms of the stimulus, in terms of nationalizing the auto industry, then you have to say George Bush was a Marxist. Ronald Reagan was a Marxist?
No.
Ronald Reagan was not a Marxist.
Bush did a lot of things.
What did Reagan do? Reagan supported Chrysler. Reagan bailed out Chrysler. I don't remember anyone calling him a Marxist.
Anyway, the GM bailout failed. So
that's arguable.
No, it's not. It's not. Sir, it failed, okay? The stock price is down in the dumps from the IPO. It's only been going down. GM is denying that they have to fix the recalled vehicles before the bailout, even though it's the same company, supposedly, okay? The government has taken a bath on that. The stock is a loser. Scott, you know what? I think you're one of these people that thinks as long as you're talking that this debate is going on. The president's sympathies are more towards a Marxist ideology, whichever strain of it is. There's Mensheviks, Bolsheviks. There are Democrat socialists. There are hardline communists. I don't know his exact DNA. I don't claim to know his exact combination of molecules in his political belief. What I see in him is somebody that does not err on the side of liberty and private property.
And that's what I'm asking you. That's what you see of him today. What I'm asking you is just to tell us what you would think of a president like Obama that would address the entitlement programs, unlike any other president that has 35 years. If he puts forward a 4-to-1, and the next day you come on and tell us that he's a Marxist redistributionist, I can't fathom that.
Until we begin to creep back the power of the administrative state, until we creep back these means-tested programs whereby which the people who pay for them can't access them, until these things start to recede instead of grow, I'm going to say the things that I'm saying, sir.
Right, and that's fine. I just can't wait to talk to you in November when Obama initiates that movement.
Okay, well, you give me a call back in November. You've called many times. I recognize your name and where you're calling from, but you call back. I love when, Scott from Florida has called in many times, and I typed in Reagan Chrysler bailout into Yahoo to see the first 4 articles and Yahoo Answers, which is obviously what he was reading right as he called. The funny thing about calling up and saying Ronald Reagan, it's almost like, ha, we got you. You're not allowed to ever disagree with Ronald Reagan. Actually, it was Ronald Reagan who said, 80% my friend is not 20% my enemy. I can disagree with who I want to disagree with. I don't fail some purity test and disqualify myself if I say, well, Reagan in the modern era was the best president, but here's somewhere I disagree with him. I mean, my God, on this channel we have Mike Church, Glenn Beck, me, Sean Hannity, Mark Levin, Cam and Company. You think we all agree on every single thing? No. And where we don't agree, we don't agree. When you talk about a purity test, there are 4 or 5, maybe up to 10 things. But you're still allowed to disagree. It's not like you win an argument by saying, oh, Reagan did that, huh? Reagan did that. Did you call him a socialist? As a matter of fact, hold on. That was the first Yahoo answer. ReaganChrysler. Here we go. Let me see if I can bring this back up. All right, go back to Yahoo. I mean, you got to wake up earlier in the morning if you're going to try to break my arguments and defeat me in a debate. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. The first 2, 3 that come up, 2 of them are from The Nation, which is a left-wing newspaper. Then you get this. When Ronald Reagan bailed out Chrysler in the 1980s, hold on, Ronald Reagan didn't bail out Chrysler. It started under Jimmy Carter, but that's besides the point. It says here, under the avatar of No Name, which, Scott, might be you, when Ronald Reagan bailed out Chrysler in the 1980s, did the right raise a big stink about it? Does anyone remember any outrage when Reagan bailed out Chrysler and a couple of airlines in the 1980s? Has Glenn Beck, Sean Hannity, called him a socialist or a communist for doing the things they accuse this current leader? Well, I mean, it's like right there. You have to understand something. For everything you get off the internet, I can get off the internet because the internet is in the studio. 1-866-95-PATRIOT.